And we are on. So.
Oh, look at this. Conveniently, the book's right in front of me.
Oh, great work too on the cartoon.
So, I've had my son give me some drawing tips because he's incredibly talented as an artist. And he's like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm like, I'm just sketching for D&D. He's like, yeah, that's serious.
All right, so we have 2 timelines that have occurred. So just to bring you all up to speed, because it's been a little while since you've been together as a party. And Brian, if you split the party tonight, that is the last time you've seen your house. No, you guys can split. This is a sandbox campaign. Meals fall from the sky.
But you will have all of the disinspiration tokens, all of them.
Yeah, I've had the 3D printer going for the last 6 days.
I think there's 4 here to start you off.
What's that?
Disinspiration. Have you not had one?
He hasn't. I don't think you've had an advantage either.
I've not been enough of an asshole to get one yet, apparently. So I'll have to try harder.
Really and I don't think does anyone have one at the moment? I don't think
Grond does.
Grond does. Right. No, he's got advantage or disinspiration?
He's got the
inspiration. Yeah.
Although inspiration and disinspiration is not really that much of a reward in the 2024 things because like the humans after a long rest get it.
Yeah, but we're not doing that. So
no, I know.
And it's slightly different. Whereas
nobody likes humans.
Yeah, you get to roll an advantage, or you get forced
to
into disadvantage.
Heroic inspiration.
Hey,
why did they rename it to heroic inspiration?
Because Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently.
Because why? Sorry.
Baldur's Gate 3. They call it heroic inspiration.
Oh right. Okay.
You get it for being a hero.
Yeah, marketing.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Sure. All right, so what we've had is we've had the party depart about 24 hours ago. In fact, exactly 24 hours ago. The party split. Grond, Cub, and Cosron clambered into the dark coach pulled by 2 sort of very black, mysterious mares and off to Ravenloft for dinner at Count Strahd's invitation. That went swimmingly well, and they are now at 12:25 p.m. The next day in the coach, heading back. In the coach is Cosron and Cup, and what remains of Grond's body, barely clinging to life after he decided to antagonise their host for the last evening, and after showing incredible restraint, he just thought, all right, well, obviously this dog just needs to have a lesson, and stabby stab stab. So where we have Grond is he is now stable. He has been given the witch's brew from Cup as the carriage left Castle Ravenloft over the drawbridge and is now winding its way back in the day to the pickup point, which is what was promised, is that you'd be returned to where you were collected.
So sorry, witch's brew? I'm not familiar.
That was just a health potion.
Health potion.
Healthish potion.
Healthish.
From Lady Baba Lazaga.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
When I gave it there, I was like, oh yeah, here you go. And then after hearing that again, I was like, yeah, maybe that's not there. But.
So he is stable, but critically wounded, and will take some time to recover. So he's in no peril of perishing, but he's in no position to particularly add too much to either A, your journey, or B, the next sort of 8 hours at least. Now, it is essentially a 6-hour trip back from Castle Ravenloft. So 6 hexes per hour is the travel speed, and that'll essentially get you back to where you were picked up at 18:25. On the coach, it is a somber mood, and you have the opportunity to reflect. And when I cut back to you, you can have any dialogue or do anything that you wish to do, noting that my personal, preference, but not a necessity, is that because Rogan can't play tonight because his in-laws are here and he's clearly, under the thumb, which is why he's had to shave his head, lose his beard. So,
Jeez, did you just join the army or something?
yeah, I know, yeah.
Didn't he sell the hair for charity or something, or give it to charity?
Yeah, he gave the hair away. Yeah. So many lines. Anyway,
sorry.
yeah. So my preference is that if you guys, I don't care. You can, cast healing on him or getting back into play, no problem at all. And if that's what you want to do, but given that he's not here, it is a convenient mechanic that he is, drifting in and out of consciousness, mumbling stuff, making no sense. So pretty much as if he was here in person. So
very similar to what we've been advised, so that kind of works.
Yeah. Now, while you're bouncing along the road, albeit the hoofs and wheels not necessarily actually making contact with the ground, yet the journey is rattly. We have Clank and Erin, who have had their own set of adventures, having waved goodbye to those brave enough to, undertake an evening of dining with the vampiric overlord of this pocket domain. They set forth to try and find Abigail. And they were fortunate enough to stumble across her. A interchange occurred before Sintana arrived on the scene with her whip.
Accused us of kidnapping her. Rude.
I know.
Yes, I know, totally. Yet various things were provided to Erin and Clank as part of this encounter with Abigail, who potentially meets some of the parameters of Madame Eva's prophecy. Now, she was then last seen cooperating with Sintana,
Stockholm Syndrome.
as far as you could appear, racing to the south of the township of Valaki. And that's where we're at. The Clank and Erin ceased their chase, and by 12:25, which is the time that it is now, have made themselves back to where the donkey is on the map, which is essentially not too far from where the coach departed. And so, with that being the update, does anyone have anything that they feel I've missed or that they'd like to provide their insightful colour to?
No.
No, I think that covers it. I mean,
Okay.
it sounds like both parties had their arses handed to them in separate ways. So,
what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to the coach first, and this will be in the first hour. Is there anything that you wish to converse? Noting, of course, that we did conduct most of Castle Ravenloft in isolation, but I have faith that you two gentlemen won't metagame by anything that these guys talk about, because I'm desperately watching for any excuse to give you disinspiration, Dave. So,
I think after getting in, making sure that Grond is okay, I feel like Cub would just be trying to sleep.
Yeah, Cub's very tired, if I recall.
Yes. If that's possible, try to attempt to sleep and have a long rest.
now, you had a exhaustion,
Yes.
yeah, but the others haven't.
Yes.
So I'm going to allow you to conduct a short rest in the 6 hours. Due to the nature of the journey, you really won't be able to long rest.
Yep. That's fine.
Yeah.
Can I just? There was the shard thing that I got at the end of last session. Did you end up doing a custom item for it for me to put in the inventory?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I don't have it still in Clan's inventory, and because I wasn't here in the flesh, I don't have an inventory card for it either.
You should be able to see it on you and Dave. You both should be able to see it on Legend Keeper under loot.
Yeah. But to add to my character sheet inventory.
Oh, sorry, no, I haven't. I haven't.
But you didn't do it as a homebrew.
No, I haven't done it as a homebrew.
Do you have an inventory card for it?
No, I don't. But I can produce.
So by your rules, I don't have it.
Yes, well that's okay, but like I shall make a note. Hey Siri, remind me to create an inventory card for the Embergleam shard for Brian. You'll have one tomorrow.
I'll see if I can do a.
Okay, I've added create an inventory card for the Baleen shard for Brian to the dunk to-do list.
Dunk.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry about that, mate. That's yeah. That on my
No worries.
What did you call it?
You
Thanks, Siri.
didn't see
What did you call it again?
it's the Embergleam shard.
I'm going to see if I can quickly do a.
Yeah, you should be able to see it on Legend Keeper. Yep. So it's got the.
I know it's on there. It's just I couldn't see it on the.
As a homebrew item.
Yeah.
No.
Lost them in my Legend Keepers.
Have you logged in?
I know why.
Jeez, log in.
No, I got a stupid new browser that my mate was raving about.
That's browser.
Excuse.
Yeah.
What browser is it?
Is that where you've got a Opera FX videos on
That's a
your,
bit old school.
Yeah. Opera GX.
Why?
Apparently, it's all souped up. He was raving about it.
No.
Yeah, it's got. There we go. The Shire. That'll do well. Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah, you won't be able to see the Embergleam shard though. Only David and Brian should be able to see it.
That is all.
All right, so I'm going to come back to while Brian's doing what he's doing and let you guys think about what you want to commence to do, because it'll be when I come back to you, it's going to be basically 12:30. So you've got 6 hours to kill before the coach turns up to your current location, or you might take off and continue to split. I don't know, whatever you're going to do, but that's the current situation. So for you and Cosron Cup, Gron there is moaning and sort of yeah.
It's like whimpering like a dog having a bad dream.
And to that point, he is kind of like he's becoming more dog-like as time goes on, because
every now and again he like jumps into the side carriage.
yeah, because I mean this is day 14, and he did have his little incident.
Well, there
Yeah.
was the incident at the outhouse, but then you're talking about the incident with the wolves, right?
Yeah, well, he was bitten on day 9, so this is 5 days later.
Right.
Well, before we go to rest, Cosron is just going to look at Cub and say, "So how do we climb upstairs, Cub?"
Shall we?
Won't let me copy it. Sorry.
Where do you think we should? Do you think we'll be able to find the rest of them back where we left, or should we head to Velaki?
If they're not
Pushed it in there.
Velaki,
And it
seems
won't
like the
Paste
best
it
option.
into a notepad document first, removal format.
Or should we do do not think he's in
Yeah,
much.
it could be like a HTML thing.
Hopefully the
He's
rest
in
will.
walk.
Hopefully the rest will do him good. But I have no way of helping him at this time.
He's had one potion, I could give him another, but
We
he
don't know
seems
what.
fine. I think this is more emotional damage.
Yes.
Out of character, do you guys like not feel bad that you didn't help at all?
No.
No, this is definitely like he would have been pissed off at us
Yeah.
if we helped. Like this is like we.
Yeah,
Is that a good reason though?
Yeah, it
Like
was,
really?
It was a pride thing, big time. So
I mean, like out of character as a player, and I feel like Rogan said this as well that Gron needs to be put in his place.
plus it also saw exactly what he
Plus-
could do.
Also, if we were to step in, we'd just be dead.
Yeah.
So the Death Eagle would come back with 3 unconscious bodies. And like a note taped to them, like, please talk to these people.
Well, suffice to say, it wasn't just Strahd, so there's just no way.
Neon pink sticky note on the side of the carriage door. Fucked around, found out.
Sorry, they might also be a little low on blood.
Oh dear.
At this point, we don't know what awaits us when we arrive, so it might be worth keeping that potion on hand. And this was his decision.
I feel I made it abundantly clear that I would not stop him if this is what he wanted to do, but I could not help him.
I'm gonna rest.
Alright, so I think as I said before, you both can do a short rest.
Yep.
We won't short rest Grond at this particular point, unless you guys want to reanimate him into the game. But at this particular point, he is, having been fairly, comprehensively dealt with by Strahd, in short order, he is licking his wounds, literally and metaphorically. So,
I feel like the only thing that, just for that, if and when we get back there, depending on what happens here, we'd like him to be able to walk around, not be carrying him along type of thing.
yeah.
But
So
he's still
short
at
rest him for hit points. But
he's out.
But
He's
in
not joining
role
forces.
play. He's like, he's,
Which I think is what
Yeah.
Rogan
he's weak,
wanted as well.
he's kind of, not only is he physically hurt, he's emotionally, challenged with the result of his actions.
And the whole shadow thing.
And and he has lost his shadow. It remains completely lost. It is not with him in the vehicle.
Do we need to rename him Peter Pan?
Yes. Peter Pan.
Okay, so let's cut back to the two of you. You've made your way back now towards the shore, where I guess close to where you originally encountered Sintana. You pass the sort of road, the access road that comes off the main Salvage Road that runs east-west from where you are there. So that's essentially where you are, 12:25. So what would you guys like to do?
Well, having long rested while we've just been waiting, we've woken up, we've breakfasted. I've second breakfasted, it's important. I'm going to make my way over to where Clank is, and I've got Abigail's journal in my hand, and I'm gonna, Clank, can you have a look at this? And I want us to have a chat about this journal.
What? Which journal?
Abigail's journal.
Okay, yep.
Okay. It is in Legend Keeper.
I don't have access to it there, though.
Yes, you do.
Do I?
It's in handouts.
Oh, handouts, not under loot, sorry.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. I remember this. From earlier.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm
Yes.
going to do like the typical sort of sit down, cross-legged. Here's my book. Let's go through it. And I want to particularly draw some information, like, as Aaron's reading through the book, the way that he thinks is he's looking at page 8. Okay? And out of character, the phrases are, you know, he walks without breath, his eyes shine, can't cry, he'll carry the ember. And I'm like, Clank, you've got something that looks to me like some sort of like ember from a fire or whatever. Like, what do you think of this?
Well, I mean, it echoes what she was saying to me when we first met her. So she believes that I was supposed to have this thing, whatever it is. I don't know what she means by I'm the one that opens the flame though.
So my thoughts are around this, right? Like, initially, Abigail's looked like this helpless waif. And I'm drawing on my road background here, right? Like, it's all about deceit and infiltrating the underground and stuff like that. And it's like, she's looked like she's this helpless waif.
I'm not sure I agree.
Yeah, but no, she looked like it. And then all of a sudden, this person who's been looking for her for a week, while we're standing there, has come along and gone, you've kidnapped this kid. And then they've run off together while we've given chase. Now, to me, something smells a little bit fishy. And yet, we've got this book, which arguably says things which could relate directly to you, if you want to believe they're about you. And just like I've spent the last couple of hours just reading through this book, Clank, and it
Did it take that long?
it's written in common. You know, obviously my first language is Halfling. I'm an ESL or a CSL, you know, student.
Right.
It's taken me a while, and it's written in the handwriting of a child.
Okay.
I might look like a kid. I'm not a kid, but.
You're 2 years old, damn it.
That's right, that's right. Look at my boots, they're sailor boots. And I'm reading through this and I'm thinking, it relates so closely to you, or a vision of you. I'm wondering if it might not be fate.
Well,
And with that, I give you the book and I'm like...
Metagaming it a little bit, we did insight checks and she wasn't lying to us.
She didn't think she was lying to us. If someone tells you that the sky should be green, and they look up and they see the sky is blue, alright, are they wrong?
Yes.
Yeah. But do they believe that the sky is the wrong colour?
No, I don't. I don't think that they're telling me that truthfully, because it's clearly not green; it's blue.
But if they truly believe that the sky is supposed to be green, and they look up and they see that the sky is blue, would they not see that as something unusual? What I'm trying to say to you is that if someone thinks they're telling you the truth, even though it's a blatant lie, should we not, you know, approach this with a little bit more caution?
Then what? I mean, at the moment, I'm struggling to see how this presents any danger to us at all.
I'm not saying anything about danger. It's just, you know, there's stuff in this book which, okay, as someone who likes several breakfasts, I've often gone fishing and caught fish, and it's like, this is bait.
What?
To lead us in some direction.
Okay, what direction? I'm just not getting it, mate. I'm sorry.
All right. So that fancy little crystal that you got given.
Yeah.
I believe that you are being baited to use this thing.
But I have no intention of using it.
I just turn around and walk off.
Classic Clank. I think you
Fucking Clank.
My willingness to use
I think you underestimated the complete disregard I have to the DM's plot mechanisms that he might engineer. Great.
Hooks? What hooks?
I'm just gonna find the closest tree and rest my forehead against it for a while.
Do you
Clank, look what you made me do.
Do you want it?
No, I don't want it. What am I gonna do with that? I can't eat it. Can't sell it. I don't know how to use it. She gave it to you. It's yours.
Okay.
If I could sell it, I might take it, but I don't know anyone wants to buy that stuff. I sort of sit down and I'm sulking for a while, staring at the remains of the morning campfire and what looks like the remains of breakfast.
Now, Brian, did Clank attune to this or begin
No.
an attunement process? No, I didn't think so.
Well, I couldn't mark it as a cheat on the character sheet either, so.
Yeah. There's that. Yeah.
Okay. After about 15 minutes, I get up on a walk back over to you, and even though you haven't moved like an inch since I stopped talking, I'm like, Clank.
Yes.
I still think there's something in this book that's not quite right.
Okay, what?
Right. So, and this time I'm flicking across the page 21, and I open up the page and I show it to you.
Do exercises A through F.
That's right. That's right. And I say to him, look, we met a guy who didn't have a hand.
Did we?
We did. We did. It was in.
Who the fuck was that?
No,
The demonic dude.
Yeah,
He had a
the
demon hand.
demonic dude. He had a demon hand.
That's still a hand.
Yeah.
It's a dog's paw.
I'm sorry, no, they were two hands. Just one of them was demonic. That was not no. And this says no hand, not like one hand. It says no hand. But in any ways, okay. So you think it's about what's his face from Valaki?
I think so.
Okay, and
Well, I still think, going back to what I was saying before, Clank, I think this is bait.
again to do what?
My God, Clank! Ah! You're impossible.
Just explain it to me in very small words. I don't understand. There's no instructions about going and doing anything in here that we might want to follow. It's a load of ramblings of a small child.
I find that insulting, Clank.
Why? You just said you weren't a child.
I'm not a child.
So why is that insulting?
I still think it's insulting.
Civil War 2. Clank
right.
and Aaron.
That's right.
They split their party.
We get there and it's just Aaron kicking the fire.
That's right.
Kicking Clank. Ow! Ow, my foot.
If I kicked him, it would just clang anyway.
Right, so this particular point is now 2:30 p.m. You guys are just gone through the gates of Barovia, and that's where that particular party is. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do? Otherwise, we'll cut back to Brian and David with Clank and Aaron.
I'm attuning to my base of terror.
Right.
I will try and look into the you know how we saw something in the window on the way there, just kind of look to see if there's anything kind of in the window that's potentially disappointed.
Give me an investigation.
I'm just hitting patting my mace.
What? He's rubbing.
I
He's
have-
rubbing
I
his
have a-
mace. He's
I have a
attuning.
very nice mace.
Investigation, you said, sorry?
Mhm.
Yes. Oh, fun. That will be a 10.
Yeah, nothing like you do see that there are reflections, but you know, at one particular point you think, oh, it's a face.
Oh, it's me.
No, it was Cosron leaning further into the rubbing of his mace.
You just said it's a really interested face.
Yeah, so there is nothing of note. You certainly don't get the same visage that you did on the way to Castle Ravenloft.
Stop feeling up and do it again.
Hey, this is the icon of Ravenloft.
So I've heard.
It's holding that on one hand.
My bride
stroking
bought me that.
stroking the mace.
We're at Clounder and she walks past. She goes, "Oh, you should get that for your D&D room." I go, "Okay." No problem.
I'm not going to argue.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah, failing that, I guess just try and get a bit more shut eye.
Okay.
Does the attunement take up the entire time, or?
Well, I think attunement takes an hour, doesn't it?
Yeah, short rest.
Yeah,
I think.
short rest.
Okay.
So, you're,
I'm attuned.
you'll be attuned.
How many
time.
things have you got to tune now?
That. Yeah. Remember, I gave you my ring.
And the
Nothing else is magical. I can't attune to this for reasons.
Okay. Clank and Aaron, anything you'd like to do? 2:30, and I'm going to say it's now 3 p.m.
Where do you think we should go next?
I think we should wait for everybody. Honestly,
Yeah, okay. Well, once they're back, though,
Yeah.
where should we go after that?
I honestly think we should take those gems back to the wine people. That's what I
We've only got one, haven't we? I
No,
don't know.
think. No,
Brian's got it.
we've got two.
Gron's got the other one.
No, we've already given one
No,
back.
we've already given one back.
He's got one. We only got the one.
Yeah.
I think we should take the other one back.
Forgot about that.
Whoops.
That's it.
That's
what
easy.
that's what I think anyway.
Good for that.
I mean,
You're not concerned about this
Yeah,
Abigail
yeah.
and her situation.
So you guys, I'm not sure who's carrying the map, but you do have the map. You want to use that?
so realistically, I am concerned about the Abigail situation, especially when it comes to Santana. But something in me feels like we've been played, and I can't really explain how I feel that way. It's just when I think of how specific the words in this diary are to you, and the way that Abigail just conveniently was in a campsite that Santana found like 20 minutes after we got there,
It's almost like it was a prophecy.
who's been looking for her for over a week, as far as what we heard, and then this stuff relates to you. I kind of feel like we're being played, and I'm not of the opinion that we go chasing after this little kid who's potentially in on all this.
In on all what?
This.
What's this?
This. I think.
I'm still very concerned about the fact that that woman turned up and seemed to be threatening a small child.
And did you not
In the
see the
background.
small child running off with that?
This
woman
I
eye
can
saying,
shed
sheds
"Come with me,
light
come
on
with
one
me."
who will
Stockholm
help you
syndrome,
greatly
like
in
I
the battle
said.
against this darkness.
I don't know where
I
Stockholm
see a
is.
child of Vistani. You must hurry. Her fate hangs in the balance. I heard it.
What do you think we should do, Frank?
I feel like
And I'm sitting there like with like a little kid with big eyes going, "Tell me the last bit of the story."
Well, there's two things that I think we could
ramping up.
do. Well, I mean, I would like to go and, as I see it, rescue
There
this
is
Abigail
one thing I
girl
would
from
like to do in the death of
that
Uber
horrible
for the
Santana
last
woman.
leg.
But if you think that that's
Oh,
some
you still
sort
way
of
off
trap,
the last
then
leg. Yeah.
I don't see how, but okay, I'm prepared to be talked out of that. Then I think we should do what we were planning
You
to
bet
do
so.
before we ever went to
To
go
loop
and
and
see
then go back
Baba
up
Saga
around.
and
No,
continue
I'll
on to
do
the
it,
Ant
yeah.
Temple, which is like on our to-do list of, prophecies to look up.
My honest opinion is there's more to this Abigail Santana thing than meets the eye.
Okay, so what do you want to do with it then? Here's your options. Go and get her back from the evil Santana woman, or don't.
Do you want it?
I
I
just-
say the
I just-
cheekiest shit-eating grin ever. Do you want to go and get it back?
I did just say that.
Do you want it?
Yes, like literally, that's what I just said to you.
Then let's wait for everyone to get back and let's go.
Okay.
Let's go fuck up some Valakians.
No, Vistani.
Those two.
So hang on. What was that you just said, Brian?
That we might be going to go and rescue Abigail.
At the Vistani camp.
Well, presumably where she was heading for, yes.
Right. Okay. Nick just, when he was watching Brian's video, he just kept leaning back, and that's where he's ended up in the touch screen.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know, it zoomed up, but it's
Somehow.
interesting to know where that is. It could be fate.
It's the domain of Barovia. Could be anywhere.
Could be.
It's just zoomed up on it, that's all. It's the unzoom. Okay, so it is now 4 p.m.
Okay, Clank, so how about this? Alright? Because I'm not giving up on you, man.
Yeah.
When everybody gets back, why don't we go and see if we can rescue Abigail? And then after we've rescued Abigail, because of course we will succeed, let's go check out this amber temple of yours.
It's not mine.
No, it's totally yours.
Why do you want to check out his amber temple?
Because there's amber in there.
What euphemism is that?
Okay.
Sit down. Okay, so when everybody gets back, we'll just
Are you stuck
stuck.
on repeat?
No, I'm trying to get through to you, Clank.
Okay, and I still keep trying to get you to explain what you're saying to me,
I-
and you won't do it.
I feel like it's an if A then B scenario. Alright, when they get back, let's go and rescue Abigail.
Okay, so that's literally the third time you said that.
Yes, I'll say it again because your memory's not working. Come on, Clank, work with me here.
Honestly, I've got no idea what you're talking about.
I rest my head against the tree again. Are you sure that's why?
I've told you, if you think it's unwise, let's not do it.
I honestly think that Abigail's in on it.
On what?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Who's on first? Clank, I believe that Abigail is in on a conspiracy to lead you to do something that you shouldn't do. Which is to use that funny little gem thing that you were given by her.
I'm going to take that and throw it in the lake if you say this again. I made it clear I don't want it.
And throw it in the lake.
Okay, I'll chuck the Ember Gleam Shard in the lake.
Okay.
Okay, you happy now?
Jesus Christ.
You go.
I was
and
never
you
happy
chuck
to
it-
begin with.
You chuck it into the lake. No problem.
After all that trying to get the item card.
Right. Excellent. Yeah, sweet. Okay.
Okay, if
How far does he
anyone wants
throw
to blame that, that's on him.
How far does it?
You
how
threw
far
it
do
in
you
the
throw
lake.
it?
Because you told me to.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys another couple of minutes while I just
need a couple of minutes.
respond to your potential next activity. Just set up some mapping. Cool. Okay, that'll get me at least to where I need to be. Okay, sweet aroma. So, the Ember Gleam, let me just throw in. Thrown at D14, 1600 into the lake. Brian, can you give me a strength check,
Athletics?
please? Just a strength athletics check, yeah.
25.
Off the button. Okay. Right. Excellent. Actually, I should probably. Sorry, if you guys are on that page, I should probably put that into a secret, so you don't actually see what that is. Okay, cool. All right. Excellent. What could possibly go wrong with that? It is now 1 hour later. I'm cutting back to you guys. It is 5 o'clock. And anything dramatic that you guys would like to do? I mean, I don't know. You could throw Grond out. You know.
I'm going to relieve Grond of his gem.
So you're going to go into his pack.
Yeah.
Why do you...
Alright, can you roll a perception check for Grond at disadvantage, please? So Ryan, can I just confirm that you've just spent the last half hour creating the homebrew item?
That only took 10 minutes. I didn't manage to do a very good
23.
job of it. It wasn't nearly as
That's
good as the boil
disappointing.
fake.
You got
So,
two
sorry,
19s.
what did you get?
Oh, nice.
2 19s, 23 in total.
23. Okay, Grond stirs as, and so Nick, I'll get you to roleplay Grond as he becomes aware that Cosron is rifling through his possessions.
For you.
I'm just having a look at this gem that you've got in your pack.
Go on. Oh, yeah.
So do you take it?
Yeah.
No? And you place it in your pack or on your person?
I'm going to identify it.
Okay.
Which is 11 minutes.
Are you going to share with everyone else what it does?
Yes. My main thing is this any different to the other one, or the other one that we had at the winery?
Okay, I have just make sure permissions are set. Right, you should. I'm assuming you should all be able to see that in the loop, Gemstone Winery. Right, and given that you're sharing, I've just revealed a couple of secret blocks that you'll be able to assimilate. So, after your identify spell, that is what you become aware of as you concentrate on that. Anything that Cub wants to do or Gron wants to do, because we're basically at sort of 5 PM at the moment, so you're an hour and a bit away from arrival at your location.
I think,
This is completely different to the one before then.
Yeah.
I think Gron's not really...
Definitely holding on to this.
I don't think Gron really cares much for anything
Okay.
going on at the moment. Cub is trying to log into Legend of Keeper to read what the thing is, because
Now, with this gem, is this an achievement required thing?
Absolutely, if you want to use any of those potential effects for the party use, the environmental effects don't require an attunement, but the potential party use does.
Okay, for the
And
remainder of the
are
journey.
you going to attune to it?
For the remainder of the journey, yes.
Okay, I need you to do a wisdom saving throw.
It'll be a 9. Oh wait. Yep.
not attune to the gem. It somehow, you understand its powers through identify, but for some reason it is elusive to you. You may retry in 24 hours.
Okay.
So can you make a note on that? Yeah. Actually, I'll make a note on here. Cosmon. D14 1700.
Now, interestingly, reading through what you've written around the gemstone, I feel like the wording is deliberately elusive.
Why would I do that?
I don't know.
I mean, it's almost like it's been that the entire campaign. But
Might. Could. May.
Okay, so we are happy to. Does anyone want to do anything? Because I'm going to bring us to 1800 as dusk is beginning to fall. So you guys are there. You are 20 minutes short of rendezvousing with your companions. So I assume that at this particular point, Clank and Aaron will depart that location to ensure the party remains split. Yeah? No?
Nope.
Okay, so we have 6 p.m. Like I said, I've made a note in the side panel there for the gem, noting the date and time that you can retry your attunement. Anything else in the coach, Grond or would like to do before arriving?
No, I think Ron would be getting up and just like carelessly throwing his pack on the ground.
Well, you're not there yet. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
You're right. And can I just confirm also that Aaron and Clank, is there anything you wish to achieve in the next 25 minutes before the coach arrives?
Not really. I'm just sitting down and reading Abigail's journal, trying to decipher some hidden meaning from it, which I'm clearly not grasping. So, no, there's nothing really that I want to do.
All right. It is now 18:25, and the black coach. You hear. First you hear is like the clumping and the rattling of a coach, and within mere 30 seconds, so not minutes, but less than a minute, but more than short seconds. Suddenly the coach appears, and as suddenly as it has appeared, it stops, and the door opens.
By itself.
Correct. The horses, steam or something in the sort of evening light catches the last flicker of daylight. The horses are sort of looking around. Their gaze goes past you, but does not lock onto you. They just seem ready to move on. Those in the coach, what would you like to do?
Get them out of the coach.
Yeah, I think Ron's getting out. Couple get out.
So how did you guys do?
So once you have exited the coach, the door closed quite swiftly, like that. Previously, it's been this sort of slow, opening. In this particular circumstance, it's like, and the instant that it's shut, the coach takes off, and the mares themselves are, like sort of neighing and grunting as they off into the distance. And so it is essentially 6:30 p.m. day 14, and the party is back together. Thank goodness.
I'm taking it's fairly obvious that Grond is quite badly injured.
Correct.
So Clank will not even not barely even bother to acknowledge anybody else. He's just going to go straight over and start administering to him.
Are you going to do cure wounds or anything?
Yep.
Are you doing anything magical?
But I'm going to start with remove curse while he can't fight me over it.
Right. Okay.
Hang on.
He's
Would
not
you-
unconscious, though.
He's not unconscious. So, what's your intention with this? Though, like to remove like the out of character
Lycanthropy, yeah.
Okay. I feel like we should probably get Rogan's input on that.
Right. Let's ring him.
Sorry, I misunderstood. If he's not unconscious, then
He's not unconscious.
No, he's not
He's
unconscious because
grumbling.
he's so whatever he does will be a disadvantage. And if you want to challenge him, there will be a challenge. But he may. Now he doesn't necessarily know that he's doing
no, he
the
wouldn't.
remove curse. So the question is, he's arrived, and Clank comes to administer to him. Does he allow that?
I think he's kind of like just wanting to kind of be alone. He's probably like gotten out and just kind of.
No.
This is how I'm seeing the things. Like I get that like Clank is walking over, but I feel like in this thing, I feel like if everyone's like walking together, I feel like Rond is not walking together. He's just going fucking throwing his bag against the tree, walking off and going to sit down. And just kind of
Yeah, but Clank has gone over to him.
So then I think he'd be kind of like, fuck you all.
Well, let's
Let
see.
me alone.
See if we can get him on the call. How are we tracking for pizza? Is it on track for 8? Because we've got about 8 minutes to then.
He's probably just telling everyone that he needs to go out for 2 seconds. I need to take a dump, but...
What's that? Is he talking to you?
no, he's not, but I just saw him like jump on, so he's probably messaged him and you tried calling him, so he's either.
There we go. I'm ringing him.
Unlock 1 free month of Apple Arcade. 8:07 to 8:08 p.m.
Alright, no worries. Okay, so
At really point,
You-
he's avoided losing it, so he's kind of stuck with it.
I know that Rogan wants to lean into it, so I feel like from there, I feel like the way it would have happened is Gron would have been like trying to go, just trying to be alone type of thing, you know, not trying like, you know, how's it going, and everyone, oh hey, we're back here, just like fuck off, leave me alone type of thing. So however you want to play that, I don't know if that's like a...
Well, I completely misunderstood the state he was in. If he's healthy enough to walk out of the carriage and go and walk, then he's not as badly injured as I thought. So rescind everything I just said.
Okay.
He clearly doesn't need immediate attention.
So okay, so he. So I was very clear, and this is not a. I've not discussed this with Brian, so it's not leading into that whatsoever. But I just want to play this out because this is, you know. So I was very clear that whilst he could do his short rest, he's still fucked up. He's still like emotionally and physically damaged. So the way that I wanted to play tonight, which I articulated right at the front, which is that, you know, he's
kind of out of the action.
yeah, basically out of action.
Yeah.
I was happy for him to have at disadvantage, you might recall, a you know, contest in terms of, you know,
Still in his
perception and,
Yeah.
and everything with you and the whole shebang. So he isn't getting out of the coach. You know, he's been assisted out of the coach by you guys. I totally concur he will want to go by himself, and he will have communicated that to you, and you will have gone and placed him over there, away from the rest of the party, and you've probably gone over to engage with the party, because obviously the two factions have an enormous amount of information to share and discuss. Brian, I come back to what's Clank's intent in that set of circumstance. He's not sprightly. He is degraded, both emotionally and physically.
How can I tell that he's emotionally degraded?
Well, I mean, if you want to insight, you can see that not only is he physically wounded, he's also not his normal, his normal
Head
self.
hung low type of thing. Probably not that.
Head hung low, avoiding eye contact and just contemplating.
Honestly, not
his
that
life
out of character. He's grumpy. So. I don't know. I mean, I think if he's well enough to locomote on his own,
well, he isn't. So he has been helped out.
Then I think I would walk up to him before you could even get him to a tree on his own. I'm not just going to watch you pull him out of the carriage and wander off to a tree with him.
Okay, so here's what happens. You guys have pulled up. The door's open. You've got out. You've then pushed him out. You've got his gear. You've got his gem. You've got him around your arms like that, and Clank has come up, and the two of you are on either side of him, and that's where we're at. So what happens there?
So very clearly supporting him as
So
well.
in that case, then yes, I will put a hand out to him, and I'll be casting Remove Curse on him.
Okay.
Is that a
Is
willing
it
creature,
semantic? What are the components for that?
Verbal and semantic.
Is it on a willing creature, or is it on a...
No,
it
just a creature. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end.
So you want to compete against this? So first,
I feel like...
let's do a straight insight check for Grond. No advantage, no disadvantage, just a straight insight check.
It's 17.
An insight check to detect what, though?
That you're coming to cast.
To help him.
Yeah. Just let me know. So, Grond is aware that Clank is casting something on him.
Yeah.
Now, whether he so can you do a religion check for him at disadvantage, please?
Grond.
Grond.
So, hang on, I pressed the wrong button trying to search. Where's religion? Disadvantage. Yep, that'll be a 4.
Okay. He has no idea whether it's heal, remove curse, whatsoever. He has no idea as to the type of,
Anything that's going on.
energy that is going to come from Clank. So, and it doesn't require a willing creature.
Nope.
I feel like...
I thought the rules for lycanthropy are different to remove it. It has to be, if he's accepting it, he can't get it taken from him.
He
No.
can.
He can?
That's not in the rules.
Yeah.
We had that discussion.
Yeah. So his lycanthropy.
It only can't be taken from him if he was born with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to... I feel like Cobb would be like, he just wants to be left alone, but not actively trying to stop you. And then Grond would be, well, he doesn't realise what's happening, but I think he'd just be like a bit of a, fuck off, but it's not really, again, probably can't stop you. So I imagine that is just going to be happening then.
Maybe Grond's under the impression that he's going to have a cure wounds cast on.
Well, yeah, he doesn't know
He
what's
will
going
as
on.
well.
Yeah. He has. Yeah. So I've already
Submit to my
with the religion check. He has no idea what kind of hymn, psalm, or
I feel
prayer.
like where he'd be at the moment, is that he would just be like, regardless of what's happening, would just be like, just leave me alone, like fuck off. Like,
This is actually quite good that Rogan isn't here because we're working through this without his knowledge that it's a remove curse.
oh yeah, true.
Yeah. So
I think he'd just be trying to like avoid any kind of like he just wants to be like alone, deal with it himself type of thing, rather than any kind of help. Like he's not being like, yes, please help me. So, but it's not.
If
even touch,
he's
it's
having
just
to be held up, like
yeah, there's nothing he can really do to stop it.
No.
yeah, this is him.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this will be.
All right. Let me. Hey, Rogan, how are you, mate?
Good. Sorry for missed your call. I was just having dinner. What's up?
No, that's all right. So, question for you.
Is Gron dead?
No.
not,
So
not yet,
you're
not
pretty,
yet.
you're
We're
pretty
working
fucked
on it.
up, right? So you.
From the fight.
Yeah, so the stabby from Strahd, you've had a 6-hour journey back, which you haven't really been able to, get yourself back. Grond is both emotionally and physically still, critically wounded, right?
Yeah.
When you get back to the place that you were picked up,
Yeah.
Cub and Cosron help you out of the coach. The coach then immediately, the door shuts and the horses weigh and neigh and whatever the fuck they do and it fucks off. Aaron and Clank are there waiting. Clank has seen the condition that you're in and immediately moves towards you to assist you. Do you allow him to assist you?
No. He tells him to, very sulkily and angrily, to go away. You weren't there. Can't come crawling back to me now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Thanks, mate.
He's just angry at everyone at the moment, so.
Yeah, okay. No, that's been fantastic. Alright, thank you. Cheers. Bye now. Bye.
Which is what I think that's what we kind of.
So he is avoiding you. If you want to lay your hand on him,
I do.
then you need to do an attack roll. And what's his armor class?
It's not great. Being a barbarian.
It's what?
15.
Pretty respectable. I'm just trying to figure out how he's going to stop me from touching him, though. like he's going to try and.
Just what did you roll?
Just a bare unarmed attack, I guess. Yeah. Oh, it's not going to be great, I don't think. No, I didn't get 15 at all.
What'd you get?
9.
Yeah. Okay. All right. As you go to lay your hands on him, he bolts back, and the now I'm gonna shoot. So you didn't get to touch him because he's seen you coming to touch him. He's pulled back. Cosron and Cub, I'm going to get you both now to do a dexterity saving throw.
Or you're going to get touched.
At advantage, if you think your character would support him not losing the curse. At disadvantage, if you think
Definitely.
your character...
Yeah.
Right?
Is that
Sorry, hang on. Oh, I just
So
see
if
on
you
the
think
app, it says
Cub
attack.
would
I'm
want
coming with you because
Ron to lose the curse, then you roll at disadvantage. Right? If you think that
I'm at advantage.
Cosron wants him to keep the curse,
Definitely.
then you roll at advantage.
Yeah.
Dexterity saving throw.
It's
Correct.
Can I
It's his character
roll
choice.
flat? Like just neither.
Yeah.
And I've got a -2, so that'll be 14.
I've got an 8, but I'm going to use
Oh, sorry. 18 total.
Dark One's luck. to add a D, whatever the number is.
18 total for me.
Okay.
A D10.
And so you're trying to not get him touched? I still need to know that.
Cub is more so trying to, I guess, support him to make sure that he doesn't like fall over and hurt himself. Type of thing.
16.
16.
Cub is.
And you don't want him to be touched?
I do not want him to be touched.
Okay, he is not touched, the spell is spent.
Okay.
Now,
So
he
it's
can
a
cast the
choice.
spell again, but in this particular instance,
Yeah.
that's what's occurred. The spell is spent. Pizza's here, let's pause the game,
Yes,
and
Pause the video.
yep, pause the video, and we shall Okay, we're back on. Oh, we have a light. I don't know how I did that.
Before Clank does walk away, but I'll wait for David to get back.
I think you should know that he decided to fight Struck. And so I think he needs to deal with this himself.
I'm not quite sure how I turn that light on. So I'm going to stop.
So you would, the way I would do it then is depending
Okay,
on
back on.
the nature of like the spell, like what it is, who can that normally cast by? Because it's like religion.
Cleric.
Druids, clerics.
So I would say if your wisdom, passive wisdom is like above a certain level, maybe you'd be able to kind of like feel that so there's some kind of.
Well, you have that spell done.
I do.
So, given that you have that spell, would you know that you're under the effects of it?
I don't think I would, no.
Didn't? Okay. Cool.
Have you cast something?
No, no,
No, that he was
Sorry,
just
was
like
that? What was that? Was that a bit
that was that way.
that way? Was that you? Did you
What?
blip?
Heard it.
That sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my kid probably trying to hack that into him. Yeah, David did that.
Yes, Clank, he attempted to fight. If not attempted, he did fight Strahd. And
Well, that's what he said he was going to do when he left here.
yes, and I think this is more than just physical wounds. I think he needs time to work through this himself.
I think that's a betrayal of our friend.
I did not say that we would leave him alone. We're here to support him, but you know you can lead a horse to water. But you cannot make it drink. He will come to us when he is ready.
I think that if he's as badly affected as you say, then we should be assisting him no matter what his wishes.
So,
His wishes are self-harming.
I have
Would you stand by and watch him kill himself?
I have given him a health
He
potion.
kind of did.
yeah.
I have given him a
When
health
he
potion.
was
I have
doing
no
that,
means of magic
was
or
I
any
aware of
other
what he
ways
was
to-
casting?
Who?
Clank. Like when he was doing that on.
Do a religion check.
I have given him a health potion as far as my means of providing assistance.
Roll
are.
big, mate. Come on.
Yeah.
Not as well versed in
18.
magic as yourself or Cosron.
Yep.
I have done what I can. My strengths lie more in philosophy, counselling, that sort of thing, as you...
But you're not counselling him. You're letting him sit under a tree.
Yes, because he does not want to talk to anyone at this stage.
And yet if I have the means to help him beyond that, you think I should still just leave him be and suffer?
Is that his choice?
As I said, if he wanted to kill himself, would you let him?
That is not what you were doing. You were not healing him,
No,
You were taking-
I was removing an affliction from him.
which he has at no point asked you to do. And at every point, he has enjoyed the use of it. So you were willing to take that away from him.
Yes.
But hold on, if someone's bleeding to death and you stop the bleeding, even though they didn't ask you to, are you not helping them?
This is a different story altogether. He has made an active choice to go down this path.
But if someone makes an active choice to slit their wrist, you just gotta go, oh yeah, that's okay, mate. You
That's
wanted to
their
do that.
decision and their choice.
No. That's not how it works.
I disagree.
We allowed your choice to not join us to the dinner. We allowed you to walk off and do your own thing.
You
However-
allowed us.
However,
You let me go and save a
Party
child
splits
while
into
you went off and
five.
had dinner in a castle.
Aaron, the adults are talking.
I was wrong. I can watch it, mate.
Yeah, you went off and enjoyed a jolly in a castle while a small girl was being left to wander the wilderness, hopeless and alone.
Oh, and where is she?
She's back with her people.
Is she?
You did find.
Yes, we did.
Very, very good. This was not what I had expected. I'm pleasantly surprised.
We do not come back
Well, no.
empty-handed either.
I didn't say that you did, but I feel that the choice that you made was wrong. There was somebody that we knew that was in trouble, and you chose to go off and have an evening of dinner.
There has been much debate about it. As far as I was aware, I believed the girl to not be able to survive. I am pleasantly surprised that I'm proven wrong. And in hindsight, yes, this does seem to be the poor decision to go to dinner when clearly this girl was able to be rescued. But is she safe now?
And Grant has committed an act of gross self-harm by the sounds of it. There
Was,
have been many downsides.
believe me when I say that there was no stopping him. I could not fight him by myself. I could not physically overcome him, and were I to join in any sort of, but I do not think you
No, but
understand.
if we had all decided not to go to the dinner, then perhaps he wouldn't have had the opportunity.
Perhaps. But also this may have been a necessary evil to bring down an ego.
And in any case, one of the side effects of the condition that you say that he's submitting to has become more feral and more dangerous, apparently to himself, as well as to other people.
And you have the ability to fix this.
Yes.
Well, I will not stop you. This is ultimately this is his choice. This is my stance.
But is the affliction also afflicting his choice?
Potentially, but so have many of the other items that he's been carrying.
We could deal with those as well. It's like a drug addict.
Shall we? We have not. Okay, out of character, I feel like we shouldn't necessarily be like, roast away! Quick, let's write
Yeah,
this shit!
we're literally taking away his character point.
Yeah, but also, like, yeah, I guess, like,
Yeah.
we've never in character talked about all of this stuff openly. So, look, and this is what I said a few days ago, I believe. We do not talk about any of this stuff. We've been through so much in these past 14 days that we have been here, and yet we have not been discussing with each other when we need help or support or anything like that. We simply go along, struggling from fight to fight. Some of us have almost died several times.
So I'm just going
several
to walk
times
in.
in several minutes.
Indeed. All right, now Aaron's just going to walk into the middle of this conversation and look from you to Grond and go, what happened at the dinner? You guys went for food, and he comes back with the almost literal shit kicked out of him. Cub, what happened?
He just
Did
said,
you insult the chef?
He just said he had a fight with Strahd.
As we were leaving,
But over what?
long story short, as we were leaving, Gron decided to challenge Strahd.
And you thought that was a good idea?
As I said before, and as you've seen before, I am not able to physically stop Gron. And as I said before,
So how did the sweepstakes go that you did for how the fight was going to go down? Who won? I'm who said, hefting heavy gold pouch. Well,
I'm not a betting there was also, how should I put it, good incentive to not assist.
So hang on.
We counted at
Duncan?
least 7 other.
Sorry.
6 other.
Out of character, I'd like to try and gauge the level of Gron's injuries just by looking at him. Emotional damage. So,
give me a medicine check, please.
medicine check. Alright.
You can see that he has been, taken to with a sword. So there are bandages and blood. So, but the damage, he's on the mend now. But it was a significant, almost mortal wound.
Right. So you thought this was a good idea?
No, I told him it was a foolish idea and that it would likely get us all killed. But also, I could not stop him. What do you expect? I fought him. Do you not remember? Not 2 days ago. I fought him by myself. You attempted to stop me, and I could not beat him. What would you have me do? I cannot beat him. I cannot convince him.
Maybe you've got a point. If none of us have the ability to physically stop him from doing stupid things, then maybe it's time to look at other methods. Because at this point,
an intervention, you say.
Well, as I look
do you
at
think there's a sign maker?
You're hurting everybody.
You're hurting everybody around you. It's not just you. Grond, it's not just you. But as I look from Grond, like bleeding all over the tree, to you, and I'm like, okay, you couldn't stop him, but surely you see an issue with this.
I could not stop him, I could not guide him, and I could not help him, even if I wanted to.
He can.
I'm not attempting to stop him.
Someone did.
I had no understanding that he
Me.
was able to. Sorry, I'm not.
He's stopping him from helping him.
He made it clear he did not want help.
Little hands on hips. Cosron, if a drug addict was about to kill themselves through overdose, and you're like, oh, sorry, man, I can't stop you from doing that, would that be okay?
So would you call it an obsession that he's got?
What, to get himself killed?
So let me detail you as to the fight that occurred. There was Strahd and Grond, there were 6 other vampires, and 10 gargoyles in the same room.
Sounds like a fair fight.
With us 3.
Yeah. I've seen what you and Grond and Cosron can do.
I think you hold us of a very high opinion.
And I hold myself
You're all
in
taller
high
than me.
regard.
I hold everyone in high opinion.
I hold myself in high regard, and I know that we would not have left there alive.
We had.
So am I right in saying that you two twits thought it was okay to let him get the literal shit kicked out of him to prove a point? Because that's what it sounds like.
You are circling back on yourself. Are you alright? Because I have told you already.
I had this problem with him earlier.
Where's your book, Darren?
It's in my bag where it should be, Cosron.
Because did I not tell him that I cannot physically stop Grond?
He did.
I cannot guide Grond
He
to a
did.
different thing. And unless I too wanted to be killed, I could not help him. So what would you have me do? I agree with you. From your point, he is not able to be talked out of something. He is not able to be restrained. So yes, he probably should be healed. I will not stop Clank from attempting to, whatever needs to be done, remove these afflictions. this is obviously his choice, and normally I would say each their own. Each is paving their own path, leading their own destiny. But this is clearly for the betterment of everyone here, and for Grond himself, to be frank, from what I'm seeing. Maybe this affliction should be removed. I do not disagree with you, I do not know what you would expect from me, because there's nothing that I was able to do.
You know, you make a good point. Okay, I know Grond almost as well as you do, and I know that when he sets his mind to something, he can be very difficult to sway. I suppose, from my perspective, I'm struggling with the fact that you guys went to dinner, and he comes back with the shit kicked out of him. You know, and what I'm hearing is that Grond talked smack to Strahd. Strahd put him in his place. You basically said that's fine, and now
He really hasn't said that's fine. He's repeatedly said it wasn't fine.
Well,
Don't put words in his mouth.
on the carriage ride over, I repeatedly, and Cosron can attest to this, I repeatedly told him that it was not a good idea to attack anyone.
Cosron also agreed to this the entire way through. However, if it was to happen, we chose to make it under our terms.
Sorry, hang on. What are you saying?
Yeah, what?
What's this?
Well, because
Right. So, what Cosmo means is that we would not go into the den of the beast and attack them there. If we were going to attack Strahd, we would make sure that we had it done on our terms.
Is that what happened?
No, what I mean is that we were fully prepared and we weren't walking into an invited trap. Clearly, like, this dinner was more, it was planned. We were intended to be there. They knew what we were doing at every moment. It would be foolish to try and attack the bear.
And I'm just going to pointedly look at Grond bleeding on the tree.
Yes, we get it.
Okay.
Grond is wounded.
I think you're labouring the point
Yes.
there a little bit. Like,
Alright.
Now- What would be more pressing here is we've learnt quite a lot about Strahd during our time there. For instance, there is a giant heart in the tower there that Strahd somehow is being sustained by. Cub has also seen this, however, he quickly didn't see it shortly.
Fell 170 feet.
Yes.
I verified.
So you've been limping, I might add. Yeah.
More importantly, we were able to have questions answered, whether or not how much truth you can put to these things. But from what we understand, the way to kill Strahd is that we must destroy the heart of sorrow, then destroy the sorrow in his heart.
sounds a lot like page 19.
Just a little bit.
The heart of sorrow is this giant beating heart that Cosron has told us about.
So maybe the diary isn't full of lies after all.
To destroy this sorrow in Strahd's heart, we were told, to free his love from the bounds of the dark powers who chain it. We know this to be nothing. We also know that Strahd is concerned that there are other things here in Barovia that I'm not quite Cosron. He seemed to lose at Cosron more here, that he is not did not seem pleased with.
I mean, he doesn't seem pleased about anything to me.
Concerned.
We also wrested this holy relic from the chapel in Ravenloft. Now, I have attempted to make use of this, however, I am not morally guided to be able to make use of such a thing.
He's shapely.
I have tried.
He's rubbed it. Like, it's like the bronze statue where the...
I have tried.
Both of them are shiny at the front.
I have tried caressing everywhere and with everything, and it seems that someone more morally obliged.
To add to this, there was a dead body that was reaching for this. So I would caution anyone attempting to touch this.
The
The
statue,
boobies. You don't want to touch the
which
boobies.
Cosron's carrying right now.
But yes, somehow.
I can tell you after learning of its secrets, this is a holy symbol that has consecrated that church. The person who obviously grabbed this was not of holy. In that way.
Not a problem.
Not of holy, that's bad. And so he was punished. When I have attempted to make use of this, I have not been able to because I am not morally outstanding. You know this. As a
So you're saying
peace
we
offering.
should disregard all your advice about Grond?
As a peace offering clank,
Let's walk into this.
He does.
as a peace offering clank, this is a holy relic, and I believe you will make better use of this than me.
There's no peace offering required between us, Cosron, but I'll take it.
I will disable that. And it is the icon of Ravenloft.
Yeah, I'll see it in the leave list. A little bit sad that Duncan's picture in Legend Keeper doesn't have quite as big boobs.
Duncan has a picture of himself.
Icon of Ravenloft.
Now, while we did run along many things while we were at the castle.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Just let me stop you there.
There you go.
Do you want me to throw this into the lake as well?
Do as you please.
That's not what I asked. You told me to throw the crystal into the lake. I threw the crystal into the lake.
I heavily
So is there
suggest
some
not
sort of
doing so.
dispute that we are not aware of?
Yeah, so I got given a crystal by the little girl, Abigail, and he told me to throw it into the lake, so I threw it into the lake.
Where did you throw it into the lake?
What do you... was this an evil... I thought
He told
this-
me it was.
I thought this child was meant to be our ally.
Well, that's what I thought too, but he thought otherwise. And when people tell me to throw crystals away, I throw them away.
Can you point to where you've thrown this?
I gesture in the direction that I threw it.
Okay.
I am tired. Is there any pressing matters that we should attend to at this stage?
Well, I would like to talk about, firstly, in more general terms, what is our goal still?
To leave here? Leave Barovia?
Is that all?
Is that not enough?
It's not what I asked. But if that's all, then okay. But do we still have, or did we ever have a real plan for how to do that?
All so far we've been told that it must end with Strahd. That is all that anyone has really told us. But
If we are led to believe all the prophecies and everything we've been told, then yes, it must end with Strahd. Although, I do not know.
You've questioned the prophecies though.
I have questioned the prophecies, and I also question whether or not Strahd necessarily needs to be killed. I know that the abbot spoke of him having to end up. I know that I was not a fan of this abbot before, but he did mention something about Strahd needing to be healed. I feel there may be, from what we learned there, he is being held here. He is the warden, but also a prisoner here. He is being tortured here. He does not want. He wants to leave here too. From what he said, he does not want to leave here without Tatiana. Whether or not he would leave if he gets her is another question. I would hazard a guess that he would perhaps. Why would one with ultimate control over a domain seek to leave this domain once they get what they desire? These are my thoughts.
But maybe what he desires is more than what's here.
What he desires above all is Tatiana.
But
that was
from
made abundantly
what
clear.
we know, that Tatiana will never agree to be his.
Yes. And my thoughts is that Tatiana is a tool to torture Strahd. And the only way to, from what we have been told as well, the way to kill Strahd is to we must destroy the heart of sorrow and destroy the sorrow in Strahd's heart. There needs to be some sort of, I feel there needs to be some sort of realization or letting go. Sorrow in someone's heart. Free his love from the bounds of the dark powers who chain. Unless there is some way that we know we can release someone from these bounds, asking a Vistani or someone who is free to go. The only way I see that the dark powers would let go of Tatiana is if she meant nothing to Strahd. Because what point is there to hold him? Hold her here. Here.
Say, how again was it worded?
Free his love from the bounds of the dark powers.
So it could be to free Tatiana from the dark powers rather than the concept of love that's in what's left of Strahd's blackened heart. Could
Yes.
we attempt to? Do we all agree that Irina is a reincarnation of Tatiana?
Most
Well,
definitely.
yes, Strahd did mention during dinner that he is constantly tormented by her coming back.
So should we
More
attempt?
importantly, one thing before I forget. 10 days from now, the bells will toll. We will hear it anywhere in Barovia, and that is when the wedding shall happen, and we are to attend.
So we could look to try and spirit Irina away out of Valaki, and maybe we could see what we're trying to reunite her with the soul of her true love in Kresik would achieve. Maybe that would somehow free her.
Potentially, but this is also
It's,
Well, where we
it's
are-
speculative.
we are also talking very publicly. I have no doubt that we are being watched.
There's nowhere that we are not being watched in Barovia. If we are to talk, we must talk.
Very well. Yes, I mean, speculative as it is, this is the best I could come up with as well.
So that's one thing that we could be pursuing. We do still have one of the prophecies that we were pursuing.
Shall we set up camp here whilst we talk and discuss?
Sure.
Um,
I mean, the camp's already here,
oh, yeah.
because that's where we've been the whole night.
And,
So we could, I would still like to try to find this Amber Temple that we were told of and find the artifact there that might have some history of Strahd that he's not chosen to reveal to us.
yes, yes.
That may also help us decide what the best course of action with Irina might be.
Look, I think as far as we are, if our main goal is to leave here, everything that we have done along all of our leads that we know of how to achieve this goal seem to be pointing towards Strahd and these prophecies. No matter which way you want to believe or not believe, this seems to be the only direction we have. It's not as if we can just walk up to a Vistani and say, "Would you please let me out of here?" I do not think that they would be doing this.
No.
Else Esmeralda might have been able to do something on that regards. So yes, the Amber Temple at some stage, but more importantly, this girl, I believed her to be dead. The prophecy said that we must hurry. should this not be of some concern? If she is not here with us now.
Well, currently we believe her to be back with her people. She certainly left with Sintana, the woman we encountered on the lake, who told us of her disappearance.
She seemed not strange, but did you meet her again?
We did meet her again when Abigail left with her. I felt that she compelled Abigail to leave with her. Erin seems to believe there to be some more insidious link between them, but has not been able to articulate it in words small enough for me to understand.
So, what is this then? You mentioned a book.
Yes, you should show
And
them,
an
show them
artifact.
the journal.
Yeah, so I'll take the journal out of my pocket and I'll pass it to you.
So this is Abigail's journal.
Abigail's
Yeah.
journal. I'm making.
Not the Tome of Black Oaths.
Abigail's journal.
No, not that one. Not that one. Sorry.
No, I'm not going to slide of hand that one into his hand. No, this is the Abigail's journal. And
Okay,
I'll
you should have it.
yep, I'll freely give it to Cub, and I'll say, look, I've
Have you
read
got it
through
there?
this thing a dozen times, and
In handouts at the bottom.
yeah,
Ah, sorry. I thought it was Luke. Yep.
yeah, like I've read through this thing a dozen times, and it just seems
Is
too
it there?
pointed to be a coincidence. You know, I feel like, as much as I'm not communicating it properly to Clank at the moment, Clank, that this is it's trying to lead us into something that I don't feel that we should do, and I can't really explain why I feel that way. It's just
May
it
have
doesn't
something
feel
to
right.
do with the other book that's in your pack there.
Cosron, stop talking about my book. Honestly, it's my book. You can't have it. It's mine.
No point if I asked for it.
Some of the items in the journal seem to line up with information you've gathered.
If we go by the prophecies we've heard so far, one led us to the Sun Sword, which clearly is a tool to defeat Stride. We saw it in action and it clearly did the job. It,
I'm
did.
looking at Gron bleeding against the tree. I don't think it did the job.
You'd be surprised, Grond held his own for quite a while.
Okay.
However, if that as a prophecy has given us that, now this girl Abigail, do we believe that she is another part of this prophecy?
I felt she met more of Madame Ava's criteria for our ally against Strahd.
She gave you this journal and a gem, was it?
A gem,
Which is now in the lake.
which is now in the lake.
Shall we attempt to recover the gem, or is this long gone?
I think you need to talk to Erin about that. He thinks it's cursed.
Yes, Erin is clearly the genius on cursed items right now.
He thinks the Tome of Dark Oaths is great. Keep that one. But the diary
picture
from
book.
the diary from the little girl.
Is the Book of Dark Oaths cursed? Because I cast remove curse on him already. So if it is
I was
cursed,
just being funny.
okay.
Do you want a disinspiration? Do you want to
No. That was a genuine question. Sorry.
No, I was just.
He's still in contact with it though, isn't he?
It's in my bag.
Did not say that it was cursed.
Didn't say it wasn't.
So it wasn't.
You still plugging away. Took Erin 2 hours to read this book.
It's written in children's handwriting. Of course it takes a while.
Once he's done reading it, I'm also.
You might as well read it now, save the time.
I was just whether or not it was a thing. Is it under loot?
It's under handouts.
It's handouts, yeah.
it's not nearly as clear as the information you've recovered.
Sounds a little cryptic.
Did you not meet a Thunderman? Like,
I don't think so.
this mad mage?
Abigail called him the Thunderman.
It said, wait for the Thunderman, give him the ember, the time is soon.
Yeah, she called me the Thunderman. I don't know what she meant.
She told you it's because your footsteps sound like thunder through the scrub.
Yeah, well, feel free to disagree.
Either way, you
My
threw
feelings
this
are
into
slightly
the lake. Threw
this-
this into the lake.
Yeah, Erin told me to.
Okay, how can we get this out of the lake?
Well, I can just walk in after it and find it again.
Can you do so, please, Clint?
Well, I'm still not sure that it's not cursed though.
When you bring it back, I will
It's
identify
9 p.m. at night at this particular.
Yeah, let's look for it in the morning.
in the morning. If you're willing to get it, I will ascertain its properties.
I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. Are we going to set a watch?
I suppose.
I'll take the first shift in low power mode.
How long? Do you need 6 hours still?
6 hours. But I'm still fully aware.
Are you attuned?
To what? I'm not attuned to it yet. We've been chatting.
Attuned to what, sorry?
Uh,
Oh, so yeah, okay.
no, I'm saying, are you attuning
Oh,
with your sleep thing?
not while I'm trying to do a watch. No.
I am quite exhausted. Could I go one of the later shifts?
You take the first one in the morning, man.
I'll do the one prior.
Okay, so you're after.
We're back. I'm just going to do one.
I don't think that's it.
I doubt he would do.
His watch will involve him bleeding onto the tree a bit more.
Okay, so it's 9:30. What's your intent?
To take a long rest.
Yep. 2 hours watch each.
Yes, exception of Grond.
Okay, so 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. Who's doing that watch?
I'm in the first watch.
Okay, can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
15.
Okay. Nothing of note occurs during your watch. It's now 11:30, and who are you waking up?
Me.
Erin.
Erin, can you please do a Constitution saving throw?
Ooh.
That's a nat 1. I'm lucky.
You're
I get to roll again.
You rolled it.
Come on, something better.
I mean, it's
Oh,
better.
Okay.
yeah.
5.
That's your save.
That is my saving throw. 5.
Okay. Who was meant to be after you? Cosron. Can you give me an insight check at disadvantage, please?
Can't you sleep in low power mode anyway? Like you've been noticing everything anyway.
I do know those things, yeah.
It'll be an 8.
So with you being in low power mode, what's your thoughts on this situation? He's immediately fallen asleep. He hasn't stirred. He hasn't, like, you know how sometimes you know the alarm's waking up, so... You know,
Well, I mean, I'm effectively still on watch as well, so I think I'll probably just let it go.
yeah, okay.
Effectively, the watch is like you could watch the entire night without
Yeah.
anyone having to. Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to rely.
So, Cub, can I get you to do a insight check, please, at disadvantage as well?
I will obviously take 17. That'll be 24.
Right, at around 3:30, you realise that you haven't been woken up. and you wake to see Aaron in the watch position, asleep. Cosron still in his bedroll, and Clank doing whatever it is.
His eye goes.
Yeah, it's like. And Gron sort of muttering and, you know, chasing rabbits in his sleep.
Cub just nods in Clank's direction and tries to tuck Aaron in a little bit.
Straightens his safe.
And then the collar out. Were I a bard, I might have drawn something on the face. Thankfully, Cub is a monk. Oops.
Okay, so 3:30 to 5:30.
I mean, we're not really using it
Yeah.
at the moment. It doesn't matter
Oh,
if it
yeah,
goes
mate.
off.
No, it's alright.
It's Indians.
What's that?
On my arm.
TV was that set up. It's a solid water bottle.
Yeah, it's good. Clean canteen. It's a weapon. 1.9 litres. Doesn't fit anywhere in like any kind of anything, but holds enough water.
Enough.
You'd be surprised some days.
Yeah.
I suppose first thing in the morning when it's full, it's a weightlifting exercise too. Check this one out.
I know that.
So I usually do.
Sorry, Duncan.
Which way is the
Duncan.
beach?
Hang on.
Sorry.
I got my beach ball. It's round.
Heretofore to be known as Swole Countant.
Oh yeah, where's this gem? I mean, this literally tells us what we learned.
My opinion is it's a little leading.
So
Like a
it's
prophecy.
5:30.
Or bait.
Right, so you had a question for me?
I was going to say TV was turning off.
Oh, right. Oh, thanks.
You're all good.
I need to see you next door.
Who? Me?
Him.
Which
You.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lightning is cleared in your location. That's good.
What? Lightning.
Yeah, as part of my work, I had to sign up for this thing called WeatherGuard, and basically tells you if there's lightning in your location when you're working out at a mine site near massive radio towers. But it follows me around, so even when I'm here in Brisbane, if there's lightning nearby, it'll say, "Oh, lightning near your location."
That's cool.
So I just got a little notification saying lightning alert is clear.
So you then they basically it says lightning around you. Just don't go out near the towers,
Oh no, you're probably out there already if you get the alert.
and then you leave.
Yeah, they just say like leave the tower and go to a safe space. So, given that it's monsoon season up in the tropical north right now, like we have to leave towers all the time. It's really annoying because the closest safe space is like half-hour drive from them. So you get the alert, drive half hour out, alert clears, half-hour back.
Alerting it.
Yeah, that is honestly what happens. Like you have to leave like multiple times a day just because lightning's in the area.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Suppose better to be safe than sorry.
this is true. So I hope you don't mind. I draw Cub as the bald guy.
Yeah, I mean that's probably fine.
Mm.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, no, he's actually bald. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaven.
With like clean shaven, or
Clean shaven. Well, probably not now.
I always imagine him like with a Fu Manchu like Asian beard.
Do you reckon
Like
it's worth
Asian
us
martial
trying
arts
this
one.
augury thing?
What's augury?
I cast. Let's ignore the spell description.
Yeah.
You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the result of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. Does that mean you only find out what results it will have if you'll complete it within 30 minutes, or does it mean you just get, if you're about to do an activity within the next 30 minutes, you might find out whether it's good, bad, or last, no matter how long it takes you to do it? It seems a bit open-ended.
Nick, I'm going to steal another.
Yeah, go for it. A gram.
But at the very
Action
least,
you
it's
take
an
within
extra
the next
cure
30
wounds charge for free.
So it's whatever action you take within the next 30 minutes.
Yes, but if the action is going to take longer than 30 minutes to complete,
Yeah, I'm not going
Does
to
it-
cut that across
Yeah, I
you
don't think
because
it
it was a
helps.
dream.
Yep.
I feel like it'd be like
So,
more
it's a
like
bit of a shit spell then.
Nice.
yeah. There's a. Is that the 2024 one?
No, that's the 2014 one.
It sounds to me
It's
more
basically
along
a
the lines
fortune
of
teller.
if
It's more of a. Is this thing I'm about to do a dumb decision? Like.
Fight Strahd single-handedly.
Yeah.
Like you need
I
a
feel-
spell
I
to
tell
do
you
that.
that would have been handy.
I don't think it is.
Did
Well,
you want?
apparently he grunted.
He couldn't pass ornery.
That just seemed a bit of rubbish.
It's weird. It seems like it could be really good or completely useless.
I feel like there's another one that's a bit more like past the question type thing, and they have to answer.
What that kind of reminded me of was the whole Mad Amoeba, but with less.
I'm not quite understanding the item for this. It says that there are 2 charges on it, but none of the things use a charge.
They've got one charge of each one, and that's it. Because it says you can use augury once per day, and you can use cure once per day.
Oh, gotcha. Right, okay, I'm with you now. Oh yeah, it even says that at the top, sorry.
And
Is that your
it's,
groovy idol?
and
Yeah,
it's
apparently.
anything within 30 feet is just under
Protection, whether I'm attuned to it or not.
It's a shame for you because he's trying to stay 40 feet away from you at all times.
I mean, we saw how useful it was against Strahd.
I mean, you didn't die.
No, he didn't. He did pretty well.
But did you die?
You should be able to find that in standard inventory.
Yeah, no, I've got
Yeah.
it already,
Yeah.
so I've added it. So the question is, so at what point during the night does Clank reach full rest? So I did the first 2-hour watch, and then we go all the way through to the end of
So
his.
you need that, so
I need
5
six.
a.m.
So 5 a.m.
Yeah.
It's probably
And-
still not very light.
Yeah, no, it's
So
not
then
light, and
I
it
will
is
take another hour at that point and do the achievement to the icon in that case.
yeah. So I'm saying it's 5:30, and you have finished your 2 hours. So
That brings us an 8-hour long rest then.
no.
6 hours plus.
Oh yeah,
2.
hang on. No, he didn't do 6.
No,
Two.
2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours.
Yeah, 6.
My 2
Oh,
hours.
it's 8. Yeah. No, you're correct. Yeah, sorry.
And I got an extra 2 hours because I'm special.
Yeah, well, he didn't even do 2 hours. He didn't do
No.
a shift at all.
No, I got an extra 2 hours.
Neither
sleep.
did he. He just got woken up and
Yeah.
fell
Yeah.
straight back to sleep. So
So, Gron get a long rest as well then?
yes.
Everyone's long resting.
Yeah, so everyone can take a long rest.
Cute.
And as I said, at the end of that, of his watch, then I will start doing the tuning to that.
Yeah, so 5:30 to 6:30.
6:30.
So yeah, so it's now basically 7. So 7:30, you're attuned. Dawn has broken. Like I said, a little bit of there's mist, but it has not been as omnipresent as it was in the first sort of 12, 13 days of your journey here. So
Ever
it's day
since the
15,
beacon
7:30 a.m.
Sorry, ever since the beacon thing. Yeah.
Ever since the beacon.
I guess I'm.
Now, what do you need to eat?
Rations.
So grapple those, please. And you also need last night's meal as well.
Have you lost your exhaustion level now?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have, yeah. Long rested, so you're on your exhaustion level 1.
So much silver.
I no longer have any food. I need rations. I need to go into town.
Or we could hunt.
With our equipment, yes, I suppose, or fishing.
We are by a lake.
It's something.
Blue bread. I've not seen
Apparently
this
the
colour
description on the survival skill is forage is one of the things it allows you to do. So I could do some foraging.
Now, how long does that give you?
It says satisfies hunger for 1d4 plus 1 hours.
You have that too.
Apple. I mean, okay. That count as like dinner and breakfast and apple. Blue bread.
It's come out of some really dodgy parts of his kit.
It's covered with Vaseline.
Don't worry about that.
It's extra protein.
Can't go several portions.
Alright. And I've got a brand new ration, a fresh ration, which I'm marking off. Is it? How many you get?
Yeah,
per?
3. 3 strokes in the back, yeah.
Can I try some foraging as well? See if I can find some food in the woods.
Yeah, okay. So how long are you going to spend on that?
I don't know, however long it needs to be.
Shall we walk into town and buy some rations on the way?
Shall we not, because we're wanted criminals there?
Oh, no, we are not.
Is cleared.
Okay, more news we hadn't heard.
That would have been nice to know.
Yeah.
Now,
Could have been in an inn.
No, we could have gone to an inn.
I'm sorry, but I did not feel like walking to town last night. Feeling much better this morning.
now, last evening you said you may be able to obtain the gem that was thrown in the water.
Yeah,
That was the other thing.
okay. Clank will trudge into the water in the direction.
Do you want to take off before you go in, all of your equipment? Drop your backpack?
Shall we tie a rope around you?
Maybe he's metal, he doesn't.
I don't need to.
You tie a rope around you? Just in
I mean, it'll help keep me on the bottom.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Are you
just
particularly
presuming. I'm just presuming it did sink and didn't just float.
Are you particularly buoyant, Frank?
No.
Should we test?
I mean,
Well, we already did test when he
have.
got me out. He fell straight to the bottom.
So you haven't cast any spells or anything to assist you in this? No?
I don't know what possible spells I could cast. Oh yeah, I guess I could try the augury thing, but I mean, it's pretty unspecific. It's sort of like, is this a good idea or a bad idea? Not like you need to go 17 places that way and 5 places that way.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I mean, I know, right? Okay, so I know roughly where it landed, right?
Yeah.
So when I get to within roughly where I think it landed, I will cast Detect Magic.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All right. And detect magic. Just read that out,
a
please.
30-foot radius.
And glows.
You see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in that area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any.
All right. So just run that back past me. You're going to go roughly how far into the water?
Well, wherever I saw the thing land when I threw it.
Give me a history check.
19.
Okay. Alright. You know it was somewhere between 60 to 80 feet.
Okay, so at the point where I've got 60 feet out, I will cast my Detect Magic spell. And see whether or not I see anything glowing within 30 feet of me.
Alright, give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Ten.
You see a faint glow.
So
10 feet in front of you.
I will walk towards that.
As you get closer, you see the shard sitting on the muddy, sandy bottom.
I will pick it up, turn round and walk back out of the water.
Stop breathing and not eating thing is really quite handy.
It really is.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. You've got there. That was pretty much easier than I had hoped. Okay, let me put that back out. You should be able to see it now. Obviously, the other guys can now see it as well. So I have made that the Ember Gleam shard available for you
Is-
guys to see and loot.
The Vistani camp back here? This one? Is that the... I was looking. That's fine. Is that one? No one? I can't remember.
Why are you asking me?
Because as a player, it's been several months. In character, it's been like a week, and I feel like I should remember where it was.
You've got your colleagues here. You'll be able to work it
I
out.
don't think that the Ember Gleam Shard requires achievement. Unless I misread the item.
Yeah, it says that.
Oh,
It does,
yeah.
yeah.
It does
It
say
does
that.
require
Okay, sorry.
achievement, yeah.
Yeah.
The Vistani camp was back near the Sir Paul, wasn't it? That one?
Which Vistani camp?
Like the first one, like with Madame
That's
Maple,
where
isn't it?
Madame Maple was, yes.
Is that where?
No. She went to the Vistani camp that's immediately south of Balaki.
Immediately south.
Yeah, we've not been there. If Duncan pulls the thingy up that he was playing earlier, the animation, I can point to it.
Sends you to the.
But it's down along, it's along the edge of the river that runs. Here you go, look. Here you go. It's like, it's there, but I mean, obviously not to scale. So the Sir Paul runs like all the way off, is off the screen.
Did you guys see a brazier when you were in the castle?
But that's
No,
the direction
but-
that they left us in as well. Sintana and Abigail were heading towards that.
The
camp.
Ember Gleam shard, specifically to the. Oh, do we know the properties of the
I don't think it's
Ember
marked.
Gleam shard?
You're right.
I assume you'll do identify it. So
I don't think
I
it's
don't
marked on
think-
here.
okay.
No, I don't think it is.
So, destination is always the Brazier Room in Castle Ravenloft, cannot be altered. I believe this journal may hold the secret to the Brazier Room in Castle Ravenloft.
Is there a brazier room in Castle Ravenloft?
What is it? not?
This Ember Gleam gem, specifically from learning it, directs to the Brazier Room.
Did you guys see the brazier room while you were there?
Oh,
No.
How do you
Oh,
know
wait.
there's a brazier room?
did I? I don't think I did.
And what is a brazier room?
I assume
Is it a room with a big
It's
torch in
big-
it?
Yes.
It's
Strange
it's
that
where
you
ladies keep half of their lingerie.
Believe me, you would not want to get into these ladies' braziers.
However, reading Abigail's journal, specifically page 16, it refers to a brazier where the flame does not hurt and it is a door. Most probably this is referring to where this gem will take us. And each colour
Opens a new dream. Could it be more cryptic?
Shall we move to Halaki?
Is Grond okay to travel?
yeah, Grom's fine now. He's well, physically he's fine.
He's
not
Mentally he's a little bit absent, but no different.
I mean, can we actually tell?
kicking his feet a bit more than kicking stones. Shall we resupply in Balaki and then head towards this camp?
Well, yes. Yes, let's do that.
I'm sure.
Feel we.
No, you just walked out of the shore. But yes, I want to go and save Abigail.
Do we need to sit down and discuss our feelings?
I don't think that's going to help at this point.
Okay.
I've tried to explain to Clank for the last day how I think that Abigail's journal is nothing but a trap. And he says, a trap for what? It's like, I don't know how to explain that bit.
But you know, Aaron, it is a children's book. Quite literally.
I've got a children's book. Do you want to read it?
Wrote it. You can understand this one, can you not?
Oh, this one's written by a child.
Yes.
But I've actually got a children's book. It's got pictures in it.
I do not think you should.
It's got annotations. I can explain them to you.
No, thank you. Thank you. I am.
Referring to some of the bits of the journal which you won't have gathered, page 9, the do not trust the whip. Sintana is armed with a whip, and she also has red eyes.
Oh man, that's pretty cut and dry. So, where
But he thinks the books are set up, so
yes,
I
but
do think the books are set up.
And yet, and
then you can
the
help us
prophecy.
if it does become a setup. Are you willing to?
Sure.
then let us go together. We shall buy some rations on the way and head to the camp.
Why not? Let's go shopping.
So you're heading to Valaki?
I assume we have to go through there towards the.
We don't necessarily.
No,
could just walk
Eric,
on the outside.
previously
You know, if you
you wish to discuss the book with me, as I have also read this book.
so you guys are
Which book are we talking about?
you guys are
The
here
defensive
currently
book.
waking up.
Oh yes,
That's
yes.
Valaki.
Yep.
And
The
that's
one
the
that's making
Vistani
you
town.
Okay.
happy.
It's not making me happy. It just offers new opinions on things.
And you asked me for my opinion, being a magic user, of what to make of the book.
Did you also try and set fire to that book though?
I set fire to a lot of things.
But it's my book.
This is
I'm
true.
not looking to take the book
What's
from
that?
you. I just
This
mean
is
to
true. This also
explain
applies to me.
Okay.
what this might be.
Sure.
So-
All right. Let's talk as we walk.
Are you keeping the crystal, or are you giving it back?
I'll get back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not attuning to it though.
I'm
You're
not going to tell you
you're
to
not
throw it
attuning?
away.
It seems like a massive waste of an attunement slot.
Okay. Oh, well, if that's the case, will you allow me to?
Sure.
How many children's books have you got now? I feel like you've just attuned like several things.
No, I've literally got the mace. That's it.
Didn't you also have the green gem?
Yeah, I'm not attuned to it though. I
He
failed.
failed.
Right, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
But yeah.
Okay.
So Cosron has the Embergleam shard.
I'm holding it for you, Clank, as this journal seems to.
I
more
mean,
or less
I'm
name
happy.
you.
I'm happy to hold it. I'm just saying that at this precise moment, I don't want to waste my last remaining attunement slot on it
That's fair.
because it's only got one purpose, and we're not ready. I'm assuming you guys are not in a hurry to go back to the castle.
Oh, definitely not.
No,
So I'll keep it in my inventory then, but I just won't attune to it yet.
sweet. Okay.
So hang on. So Clank has it.
Clank. has it. Now, can I understand that you won't listen to Aaron and throw it away?
Well, I don't know. Depends what the weight of the party opinion is.
Yeah.
Did you share what you learnt about the vinery?
Yeah.
So, is anybody else puzzled about why it's so radically different to the last one?
Was it different to the last one?
Significantly.
So are you moving? Are you still at camp? It's
No,
8:30,
we're
or you're
moving.
on your way?
We're on our way to
We're
Auckland.
chatting
Okay.
as we
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
What
Ron's
was that?
sort of dragging his feet behind us,
Yeah.
moping, but we're sort of walking and talking as we make our way to Valaki.
Where's the other gemstone?
It's not in there anymore, but I remember the
We gave it
description being
Yeah.
that it is of Strahd, and this one doesn't say anything like that.
No. But the other one literally just had that it would help grow stuff. It didn't give that other stuff.
So you guys have moved along the Salovich Road. It's now 10:30 in the morning. That's where you guys are.
That's right. We were talking about said book.
Yes.
And its magnificence, I believe you said.
Well, I just think it's a very interesting book.
Now, while we were in the presence of Strahd and basically getting talked to by him, he mentioned that darker powers held him here. This book seems to be of those darker powers.
Which book?
The Book of the Oaths.
Dark Oaths.
Yeah.
But have you read it? You
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Yeah, I read it ages ago.
Have I given you access to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you haven't shared it with the rest of the party, so only the two of you have access to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
was with the whole...
Erin keeps trying to share it with the rest of the
Yeah.
party, and nobody else
Yeah,
gives a
okay.
shit.
No one wants it. Yeah. Okay. No.
That's why I was getting you to do the history check about the big bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Good with that.
It seems that it is of those dark powers.
okay. So what dark powers are you talking about?
I'm not exactly sure, however, it is strong enough to hold him here.
And what part in all of this do you think that the book plays? Is it significant, or is it just like
I
a...
don't think it's significant as such, however, I believe it may lead some astray. So if you do feel drawn towards something unnaturally, that may be something to let us know.
Like what?
Like anything, like preventing us from going along and following your prophecy or anything. You did say that this feels like a trap. Does that seem to come from your ideals learned in the book?
Okay, let me put it this way. When you meet someone new for the first time, and they say, "Ho, Thunderman!" and then you pick up a book that's in that person's hand, and it says, "Give this to the Thunderman," doesn't that seem unusual?
We've come across many clairvoyants, such as Madame Eva. It is not unlikely that we run into a small girl that has the same issue.
And you're not suspicious of that at all?
I'm very suspicious of that.
Well, I'm suspicious of it also. That's all I'm doing is advising caution. Not just, hey, congratulations, there's a prince that wants to give you 10,000 gold. Just pay 200 gold to open an account.
Is he Nigerian?
He probably is. He's
drowned. He's drowned. He's stuck down.
I understand where you're
All
coming
I'm
from.
saying is that this thing is conveniently placed under questionable circumstances. This girl who apparently wants, is in danger, and we believe her to be in danger. All of a sudden, according to Clank, has got Stockholm syndrome and is now run off with her captor. It all seems a little too contrived, and
Is there a reason why she ran off?
I don't know.
If she
But
did
basi-
not,
The woman threatened her basically and said that that she had to come back with her. And initially, we didn't
have much of a choice.
We didn't have much of a choice.
What do you mean by this?
They ran away from us and we couldn't keep up.
Yeah, and we got banished.
So you were attacked.
Oh yeah.
So
So do you
she
think
was
that
worried of the woman.
Do we
who
actually
attacked
know
you.
that we got banished? I mean, we just...
Yes, you went to.
Well,
I mean,
I know the mechanics,
Yeah,
but like,
so-
we've never been exposed to the spell, and even if we had been, we know that what it's supposed to do is send you to another plane of existence.
yeah.
It seems like, for a moment, we ceased to exist, and then when we
No,
got back,
no,
they'd gone.
you were just surrounded by darkness, basically. So, yeah, I can't
So we
recall
could
exactly
have said
what I said,
we,
but
we were struck blind and deaf for a minute.
No, you definitely were aware that you were taken from
We
this
went
realm,
somewhere.
but you didn't go to another realm. You went nowhere, but you're aware that you went nowhere. Now, whether you piece that together to be the spell banishment, but you are aware that you were removed from Barovia's plane of existence.
So
you
anyway,
didn't go to
the
plane.
conversation started off. Abigail was reluctant to go with Sintana and seemed afraid of her. But eventually, she decided to go with her, I think, to protect us.
That sounds likely.
But we were still unhappy with the fact that she chose to leave and wanted to try and keep her with us.
Shall we? Oh, we must hurry then. Let us do our shopping and move on.
Over the gate.
So you've reached the outskirts of Valaki. The gates are closed, and it is 12. It is midday.
Oh, lunchtime.
So,
Where were
Flip-flop.
you? Oh, sorry.
no, go on.
Whereabouts were you when you ran into Sintana? Is that past Valaki?
We were,
We were not far from where you left us, maybe 40 minutes walk.
yeah, just a little makeshift campsite in the woods.
Could they be here?
Could who be here?
Sintana and Abigail.
No, we pursued them across the road and further south of here. We're pretty sure they were heading for the Vistana camp that we were told about.
Shall we go in and buy some stuff?
Well, we've got to get in. This is what I was about to say. They flip-flopped again on their open door policy.
Oh.
Because the doors were open the last time we came through and now they're shut again.
Well, do we think that we were likely not to be welcome at the Vistani camp? I take it.
Well, that was, I believe, the hint that Sintana gave to us.
Are we intending to raise the Vistani camp?
Well, we could try the stealth approach and send someone in.
Okay, Thunderman.
Probably not Thunderman.
So, you were accused of kidnapping a child, and your plan is to kidnap the child.
Yeah, basically.
Under her will, by the sound of it.
So, Cub, let me explain this to you, right? When we first heard from Sintana that this child had been missing, we were told, correct me if I'm wrong here, but we were told that she'd been missing for about a week.
Yes.
Alright?
Hence why I thought she was dead.
Yeah. So we find this kid in 40 minutes. And within 20 minutes of finding the kid, Sintana finds us. Right? So if this kid had truly been missing for a week, the chances of her finding us and Abigail within such a short period of time are unlikely at best, and downright suspicious at worst. And this is what I'm trying to say. There's something, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something not right about that. And then we get accused of kidnapping the kid.
I understand, and to be honest, you have a valid point. However, we're between a rock and a hard place. If this is the proper sized
I
child,
would also point out we didn't find her within 20. Told about her almost a day prior, and we spent a day and a bit looking for her before these guys departed. We just found her 40 minutes after they left. So we've been looking for her for longer than 20 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right.
Do you think
I
Sintana
stand
may have
corrected.
followed you?
That's also possible, yes.
there are a number of likely scenarios. All I know is that the prophecy says that this child is likely to help us. We must go and attempt to rescue her, regardless of what we are walking into.
Even if that means raiding Vistani camp.
They are not liked, they don't like us anymore, regardless of that. To be honest, I don't think anyone else from the other.
Reasonable.
Are we attempting to get in here? I feel like if we try to break down this door, then
I mean, we could try knocking.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that
Just
you
leap
do
straight
know
to
that there are
battery
guards. Whilst the gates are shut, there are guards up on the wall, wearing Lady Vukta red, and there are guards outside the gate. But at this particular point, at midday, there is no traffic. So
That's
you are the
unusual.
only traffic on the road.
approach up to the guards.
Sort of like this part of the party.
And I might add also that
I can't get in there. I'm going to take the wall down.
I think on your first approach there were bodies along the road. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
there are
like a
none.
lineup.
Yeah, there are none. You've seen none on your approach this time into Valaki along that road.
Or we approach the guards and may we enter?
So, as you approach the guards, you see them sort of, like, it's the middle of the day, so they're not tired, they're not, they're there and they're, but they do seem perhaps a little bored, and so, they're watching you approach, and they sort of, and they go, halt, what is your intent?
To buy supplies and be on our way.
Where have you come from?
Just off the river. We camped
Which
out.
the river is.
Sorry, up the road.
The
by
river is
lake.
to the west.
Sorry, I misspoke. Up the road by the lake. We camped there overnight.
That's where have you come from?
Outside of Barovia? What further? How
You have
far?
come from the village of Barovia.
At some point, yes.
Are you outside? Are you Vistani? The Vistani have an encampment outside the town of Barovia.
That is what we have heard, but we are not Vistani.
You don't look like Vistani.
Why would you ask if I'm Vistani?
Because you said you came from outside of Barovia, and the only thing that we are aware of that's outside the Barovia is the Vistani camp. Are you travellers?
Yes.
He's not the sharpest tool in the box.
And
This
you
one,
see
is he?
you see the other guy now move over to him and whisper, and then the other guy, like, his expression just goes like wide-eyed and looks at you and you go, you're those travellers.
Yes.
Do you still have the entrance log from about a week ago? Most people signed it.
Oh, in the last few days, things have changed.
Changes.
We wear red now.
Sorry, does that mean you got rid of the book?
Lady Vukta has... Wait here. And he sort of indicates that you should wait over to the side of the road.
Yeah, no, we're not inclined to wait.
So irrespective of you not moving, one of the guards then opens the gate, slips in behind it, shuts the gate, and you hear his footsteps run off into the distance.
So he managed to open it from the outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can just do the same then.
I do not think we should break any further rules.
What rules?
Okay, after about 8 to 9 minutes, 3 other guards return, and they open the gate, and they say, you have free passage. You are welcome in Valaki now.
Thank you.
We have sent word to the Blue Water Inn for them to prepare accommodation for you.
We weren't staying.
Lady Vukta will be informed, but Lord Ernst suggests that he will see you in the afternoon at the Blue Water Inn.
We, as I said, we were merely getting supplies and heading on our way. We have a rather timely matters to attend to.
All I can tell you is what I have been informed is that Lord Ernst will see you at the Blue Water Inn this afternoon.
Lord Ernst?
Who is this Lord Ernst?
I've never heard of him.
Fuck's sake. Get on the Legend Keeper. Yes, you have. You've met him.
Did we?
No.
Yes.
Alright,
Oh yeah.
I'm
that's
going to
Sonic.
approach the
Oh, he's,
closest guard.
He's fucked his bitch.
Alright, I'm going to walk up to the closest guard and I'm going to say to him, listen, we are on direct orders from Stride himself to come in here, do what we have to do and get out. We don't have time to talk to Ernst or Vakta or anyone. You need to let us do what we need to do and get out.
You can go do what you wish. I am just simply passing the message I have been told. That Lady Vakta will be informed that you are here. And Lord Ernst has been informed that you are here. And he wishes to speak to you at the Blue Water Inn this afternoon. Whether this is not up to me to force you. I have been told that you are honoured guests of Valaki. And that you perhaps will be here for a 10-day. And make merriment for the upcoming nuptial celebration.
That's the whole idea. We're here to help prepare for that. But we have to be on our way.
Well, I am but the guard on the front gate. A few days ago, I just, used to look after Lady Vakna's garden. Now I'm in charge of the gate. So look, if Ernst wants to speak to you, that's between you and Ernst. I am letting you in. I am not stabbing you with the stabbity stab. I am not turning you away. I just tell you what I've been told. You have a good afternoon. Whether you see Ernst or not, I really don't mind. I have told you the message, and my friend here is the witness to that, because no doubt if you don't turn up, I will be asked, did you get the message? And he will say, yes, and he told you the message. And I'll go, yes, I told him the message, and then they will go,
Thank
they
you,
know the message.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'm going.
I'll say,
He continues to talk
while you guys,
about making sure that
while you
people...
guys go and get supplies, I might go and see if I can find a wedding dress.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Very well.
Well, we're here.
Yeah, true.
Well, we did ask to see if the Lady Irina would help us choose, and Vasily thought that was a very good idea.
Oh, really?
Yes. Do you not recall this? When Father was showing us. Oh, that's right. You weren't there.
I wasn't there. So
That's
I was
right.
thinking, no, I don't recall this at all.
No, Vasily, if
Strahd.
you're
Yes.
quiet on that matter, I thought it was a good idea.
Okay. I mean, if we're going to go and talk to Irina, shall we tell her that Vasily is Strahd?
Not yet. I feel like we keep that close. I feel revealing that information may put us all at risk very quickly. So let's go shopping.
Right.
Now, he did say the afternoon, should we...
Well, I mean, it was midday when we arrived at the gates. It's technically afternoon already.
Yes, so shall we see... I can't remember where the map was for the thing where the Blue Water Inn was in comparison
Oh, yeah,
to the
yeah,
rest of the shops.
yeah. I'll bring that up. I'll bring up the sort of macro map.
Was it the shops are closer than the Blue Water Inn?
Yeah, the shops are closer. Just let me bring you up.
I think the shops were at the eastern end of the town. Blue Water Inn was sort of central, and the church was in the western part.
Yeah, I'll just bring up this map first, which is the town of Valaki.
But if we are going to call an arena, I think she's in the western part of the town at the old.
So what I'll just quickly do is, you guys are here.
Where was the Baron's house? I forgot. I thought it was over here, but I don't think it is.
That's the Blue Water.
Yeah, that's the Blue Water Inn.
That's the coffin shop.
That's the coffin maker
Oh no,
shop.
that was it there.
No, I think you're right. The first time it's this side.
And then...
Where was the Baron's house on here, Darren?
Darren.
Sorry.
Darren.
It's my old DM.
Yeah. So
That's just inspiration.
that's a card. So, Blue Water Inn.
Yeah.
Lady Buckley's.
Yeah.
The Coffin Shop, I think is.
No, it was all the way over there.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it there. And then Baron Vargas's. Hang on. Give me 2 secs. I think I know where it is, but I just don't want to fuck it up. So just. So Vactor House. Yeah, that's correct. Yep. And so the Baron's house
Oh, I've got all the money, yeah.
is here.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the Barons, that's Lady Buckley's, Blue Water Inn, trade, market centre of the town, and we've got those other maps, but I've got, essentially we'll take that as the main bit. If we need to zoom in, we will. But what we'll do is that's where we'll call tonight. You're heading down the streets of Vallaki, yeah. Cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks. That's good.
I think we managed to get away without ruining any of your planning.
Yeah, I didn't have to really do anything.
By not doing anything,
Yeah.
we're not ruining it, dude.
Oh no, but it's been good bit of RP.
Getting everyone up to speed on everything.
Yeah, well,
Mostly. Some.
almost what you guys remember.
I think there was
I think most important.
there was some economy with the truth in various places, but
Yeah. Alright, and I'll cut the video there, and I shall upload it tomorrow morning.